Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of ET Smart Investor, where we talk all about your investments and more. I'm Neha Vashishth and in today's session, we are going to talk all about unclaimed wealth. We have Mr. Ankit Garg, founder of Garg Law Chambers, with us today. He is an expert in corporate law and often vocalizes on IEPF laws in India. Welcome to ET Markets, Mr. Garg.
Thank you for having me, Neha.
So, as we know, our topic for today is unclaimed wealth. So, I want to start with the basics of it. Can you tell the audience what exactly is unclaimed wealth and what comes under it?
So, as the general public understands, wealth comprises of a lot of aspects. For example, your properties, funds in your bank accounts, your investments in the stock market, or mutual funds, or any life insurance policies you may have taken. What happens is, due to long passage of time, for example, if anybody invested in the stock market 25, 30 years ago and had forgotten about those investments as they were in paper form, or had taken any policy and forgot to inform about that policy to their legal heirs, and after the lapsing of that policy, the funds of that policy lie unclaimed for a long number of years. Due to such an issue, the issue of unclaimed wealth arises in India. So, unclaimed wealth comprises of all asset classes, movable as well as immovable. Even if somebody has a property and property documents are lost and a person passes away without telling their children about ownership of any properties, they can also come in the purview of unclaimed wealth. But there is no such properties spread across India.
I want to talk about unclaimed wealth when it comes to families also. So, as you mentioned, that there could be some person who must have bought something and then might have passed away or maybe forgot to tell the family. So, how can someone know if they have unclaimed wealth in the family? How can they check? What is the first way to be sure of that?
Right. So in such scenarios, the first thing is to look for any paper document which one may find in their old records, anything pertaining to any bank account or anything in their ancestral, parents' income tax returns. They may even contact their family advisor, either the lawyer or a chartered accountant or any business accountant, who may have been handling such records. So when one goes through those old records, they can find and ascertain what unclaimed wealth has, has been forgotten or is not in their knowledge. Other than this, there are certain centralized government portals also where one can go and search for unclaimed wealth of themselves or their family members. For example, RBI has created a central portal called Udgam. One can go on that portal, create a login, and put the name of themselves or their family members along with any of details such as their driving license number or passport number or their PAN card number to ascertain in which bank one may have forgotten about their unclaimed deposits or maturity proceeds of RDs or FDs. Even on the IEPF portal, the government has created a centralized database whereby one can put their name and their father's or parents' name to search for unclaimed shares and dividends which may have skipped their knowledge.
So, Mr. Ankit, one more follow-up question I have is that is this only for people who are not aware of this unclaimed wealth, or I actually personally know a lot of people who had bought stocks when we used to have paper stocks earlier and they forgot about it. They don't have the papers. So, is this useful for them also?
Yes, even they can go and put their name on the centralized portal and can find out if any of the investments are missed out, may it be in physical form. The details will be there, then they will have to approach the respective company or their registrars to find out the correct details by providing their KYC documents.
So you mentioned about IEPF. I want to talk a little bit more about IEPF. Can we understand the role of IEPF in this and how can it be used for the same?
Sure. So IEPF stands for the Investor Education and Protection Fund Authority. It was created in 2016, although the fund was prevalent since 2000. This body was created under Section 125 of the Companies Act. It was created for the purpose of disseminating investor information, investor awareness, so that people who are not, literate, people who are not familiar with the stock markets, people who are not in any financial medium living in remote parts of the country. So this body disseminates information, they conduct investor awareness programs, thousands of them, to make people aware how to safeguard themselves from any financial fraud, which are happening in huge numbers these days due to digital mediums. And other than this, all the unclaimed shares and dividends have also been transferred to this body. So their main endeavor is to process the claims which are filed and then return this money to the rightful claimant.
Okay, so now let's get back to the main topic, which is how to initiate the process for these unclaimed wealths that are out there. So what are the documents that are required for the same, and what are the initial steps to take?
So the first step is to reconcile and find out what unclaimed investments or deposits are there. After reconciling that, one needs to reach out to the concerned branch in case of any deposits. The branch claim form has to be submitted to the branch along with your PAN card, your Aadhaar card, maybe any old correspondence or old communication address proofs which were there. In case of demise, one has to provide legal representation documents such as legal heir certificate, or if their ancestors left a will in their favor, they have to provide the will. In some cases of higher values, some banks have separate thresholds for that. They may ask you to obtain a probate from a district court and give that court order to the branch so that their rights can be determined and that money can be released to them. Similarly, in case of shares, one has to first reconcile the details of shares, then update their KYC with the respective companies and their registrars. As you mentioned, in some cases there were physical certificates, and if they are lost, one has to do the process for issue of duplicate certificates. After doing that process, a company allows you to claim your investments from the government authority. Then a claim has to be filed and respective documents of the claim has to be submitted to the government via the company. And finally, the government processes a claim and returns the investments to the demat account of the claimant.
So let's talk about Udgam Portal also. So this is RBI's portal, and I want to understand how can investors do this procedure online by themselves. What are the first steps to take?
Udgam Portal is a centralized portal to find out one's old unclaimed deposits. You cannot claim your money from the Udgam Portal. It does not allow you to do that. One has to first register on the Udgam Portal. It contains a database of 30 banks spread across the country and is comprising of more than 90% of the unclaimed deposits with the DEF fund, that is the Depositor Education and Protection Fund, Awareness Fund under the RBI. So one has to log in, put the names of themselves or their family members. As I initially said, put certain details including your PAN card number or your date of birth, and choose a bank in which you want to find out, which you think there was an account with. And after putting the details, it reflects if there is any unclaimed deposit or fund lying in that particular bank account. A unique number is generated in such a case, and you have to use that number within the next 30 days to make an application with the respective bank branch. You will have to visit the branch with the claim documents and your KYC documents to justify that you are the right person and this money should be given to you.
So before we end our session for today, one last thing I would like to discuss with you is that if someone is not residing in India and is sitting abroad, how can they claim their investment which is stuck with IEPF?
Very good question, because all these are old investments and many people have become non-resident Indians or taken citizenship of foreign countries. The process is pretty difficult for them. They have to comply with a lot of physical paperwork. They have to prove to the companies and update their KYC and citizenship that they were earlier residents of India, now they have moved abroad. They have to change their bank status. They have to open a NRO NRE bank account in India since they are foreign residents now. Along with that, they have to open their demat accounts, for which they will need RBI approval. That has to be done through any of the big banks or nationalized banks of the country. Once that is done, all paperwork has to be sent to the company and their registrars in India. It can be done online, but through a digital signature, which unfortunately foreigners cannot apply for in India. Or even if they do, they will have to take some professional assistance of a chartered accountant or a lawyer in the country. So all the documents will have to be sent from abroad to the respective registrars. Once KYC is updated, they will then be asked to file a claim online. So the claim process stays online. It can be filed online, sitting anywhere in the world. They will get a OTP to their number. Once that is done, they have to again send the physical documents and the claim documents to the company and its nodal officer. They in turn verify the documents and send the report to the government authority. The government has a certain mandated time period under which it has to process the claim and then return to the foreigner's bank account the dividend amounts and the shares to the demat.
Is the Udgam portal also for your stocks and equity instruments, or it's just for your?
It's only for banking deposits. It is only for banking deposits, your savings accounts, money, your current account, term deposits, or fixed deposits. For stocks, it is the IEPF authority, which is the governing body.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Ankit, for clearing out everything related to unclaimed wealth for us and the audience on ET Markets live stream. Thank you so much for joining us today during this chat.
You're most welcome.